Neeta, welcome today to GIRS. I want to understand from you the luxury space. How many of you here are luxury consumers? Even if you have bought just one thing, I will consider you as a luxury consumer. Okay, quite a few. I liked it. So, Neeta, your audience is here. Your consumers are also here. Must say that. So, tell me, how do you juggle between the Bollywood, luxury, and so many other peripheries and excel at all the fields?
Namaskar. So shall we all say a loud namaskar?
I liked it.
All right. So my career started back in 1984 into fashion. It's 40 years today. And my foray into designing came about for a deep-seated passion for cinema. Everything that was larger than life and grandiose, everything that I saw on the big screen, I wanted it to transcend into our daily lives. It so happened that when I started my career, I started with two verticals. One was designing for the normal consumer, the mainstream client as we call them, and one was for films. So both the verticals moving simultaneously, I wanted to understand how I could transcend the magnanimity, the grandiose, the spectacle of the big screen for the consumer who comes to me for an outfit, something that speaks about a luxuriant look. So here's what I was delving with every day. How do I transcend the grandiose of cinema into mainstream? And through the kind of ethos that I came about with, I decided to create a larger-than-life impact for the client by creating different concepts. Concepts where, for the first time, clients were spoken to, their mindset, their thought process, their style statement was taken into consideration. At that point in time, back in 84, 85, there was never any other color for a bridal garment apart from a red or a maroon. So I brought in the element of pink. I know there were a lot of eyeballs raised ki pink, lal pehante hain, pink kaun pehanta hai? But I had some brides who wore pink and carried it off, and that became a statement. Then came about another style that I introduced, that was creating a second dupatta. Because every wedding I went for, including my own wedding, I was sitting like this because the weight of the dupatta was very heavy. So creating that magnanimity through that just one soft tulle dupatta created an impact where I could transcend women looking like stars and feeling like stars only because of the luxury of comfort and their own personal style statement.
So you said you designed for Indian brides, right? But what I've seen that lots of luxury brands or retailers, what they do is weave the Indian styles and Indian culture in their clothes while maintaining the global standards. So how difficult is it for luxury retailers to do that actually?
So we come from a country where our culture and heritage is very deep-rooted in our systems. We want our Diwalis to look a certain way. We want to jal out the diya. We want to dress beautifully. So that ethos never goes from your system. And to create this, it is very important that your customer translates and resonates with this when they come to your store, thus creating a store which speaks your philosophy is very essential. Now let me tell you what my philosophy was to give you kind of a basic response to this question. My philosophy was picking up inspirations from the Edwardian era for my styles, picking up the boldness of the Renaissance era, and amalgamating it with Indian fabrics, Indian prints, to create a fusion of sorts. That was my philosophy as a designer. Therefore, whether it was a Western outfit or an Indian outfit, it had the romance of the Edwardian era, it had the boldness of colors, and it had Indian at heart, as they call it. It had a very Indian at heart aspect. Now, this is the exact same thing that I translated into my stores. So when a person walks into the store, there is a, the minute you open the door, there's a fragrance that you kind of inhale, and that's a, a sort of a fusion, spicy, floral fragrance, which they really like. And that's where you actually create the luxury impact on your consumer. That's the first and foremost space as soon as you open the door. You walk in and you see the clothes that translate the designer's philosophy. But today, transcending only to garments is not enough. So when they look at your walls, my walls have prints from my garments on them. My artifacts in the store are made from the motifs that I use in my outfits. And this creates the impact of a resonation to my brand. This not only makes the consumer understand what is the designer trying to project and portray, but also creates a global, unique impact of the brand.
So one global impact which is picking up these days is sustainability. And the other thing which is picking up is technology intervention. So one by one, I'll take both the questions, with starting with sustainability. How do you think luxury designers can weave sustainability into their brands?
Charu, we've always been doing it. Sustainability has always been part of our lives. You know, I was hearing Gaur Gopal Das ji saying that we are Indians who have a thriving mentality. We buy a t-shirt, and when we wear it for times together, I think a lot of you must have heard this, you know, we enjoy wearing it. If there's a hole in that t-shirt, we'll wear it for Holi. And post that, if the t-shirt still is ruined completely, we'll use it in the house for katka or dusting. So that is how we are, and that is how our sustainability has always been there. Taking hand-me-downs from our parents, grandparents, using their saris is another aspect of sustainability. But creating something out of it is luxurious sustainability as far as we as Indians are concerned. To speak about a global impact, I think post-COVID, we've realized that a lot of buyers of luxury items are under 40. And Indians being the youngest nation, you will see a lot of young people buying luxury goods, whether it's a brand, an international brand or an Indian brand. The difference is that today, because of the world becoming so small and we're hearing about all the issues that we are facing with the ozone layer and things, we are becoming very responsible and very open to how can we solve these problems. And for this, even the buyer, the young buyer, wants to know what are the sustainable and ethical practices that a design house is kind of using. What is the backstory of the fabric? Is there fabrics that don't harm your skin, which is important? Fabrics don't harm the environment. Those are the kind of aspects that younger audiences or younger consumers are looking into. And I think there is a huge expansion that is happening because of the intervention of the kind of sales that are happening. And thus, we as brands need to resort to practices which are ethical, sustainable, and can create an impact.
My next question was technology. So I want to understand, we have seen recently lots of technologies being adopted by retailers. When we talk about AI, it is there. When we talk about magical mirrors, they're adopting it. So in terms of luxury retail, I want to understand from you how these innovations are actually reshaping the luxury retail here in India.
So again, because the system of buying has shifted from luxury for above 40 to luxury for under 40. Now, most of these audiences have been through COVID with work from home. Most of these audiences have been going through Instagram, digital mediums, shopping online. So the plastic card has become a very important aspect of their buying. Thus, I think what's happening is that we as brands need to reach out to them, need to go into their workspaces, go into their comfort spaces, houses, and sell our products, because of which augmented realities, magical mirrors, whatever interventions that have come into the system of buying have become very, very important. But what I think personally, what I feel is that apart from having this intervention that has come in, there is an aspect of look and feel that has still not left our systems. If you're spending an X amount, it's great, but if you're spending X plus plus, they want to feel what they're getting. They want to touch it. They want the experience. They want to understand from the sales personnel what has gone behind actually producing that garment or that thing that you're purchasing. Therefore, it's a marriage of two things. It's a marriage of having online and offline experiences.
But the lines are converging between online and offline these days. There was a time when I was shopping for my sister's wedding and I went to a designer store. I won't name that. So they showed me very selected pieces that you can select from these three only, right? And when you talk about converging lines between online and offline, many designers have displayed all their designs online now. So I am not understanding how luxury is actually taking the omni-channel strategy for them.
Okay, so what I learned during COVID is that marriages still happened. People were still buying luxury. At that point in time, they were reaching out to the brand. Now, that's where the crux of being able to sell or not sell happens. And this has extended post-COVID as well. I think what is important is the fact that someone picks up the phone, someone speaks to you nicely, asks you if everyone's safe in your house and reaching out, saying that, I hope you're having a good day, and explaining to you about the garments that they have, explaining to you what is the garment comprise of, or the product comprise of, what is the fabric, what is the weight. If you're speaking about a bag, I mean, me for one will never pick up a bag that's heavyweight and something that's pure leather. So things like this, they need to understand, they want to know, and they want someone to make you feel comfortable. They want you to make you feel warm, and the fact that your business is imperative to them. They want you to make them feel that. And this has transcended even post-COVID, where despite the fact that they will come to the store to buy goods, they want to have a preliminary session with your sales personnel who has to speak the same language. And that for me is foremost luxury. That for me is making sure that even if they don't buy, they understand that here is a brand that has given you a great experience.
Again, the question from my previous question. So I tell you, when we went there, there was an aura which was created, like nice music. When she wore the lehenga, she felt like a bride on the same day. And it was like an experience which can't be explained in words, right? How this experience can be replicated in the online world that way?
Sadly, Charu, this cannot be replicated in the online world, but the preliminary introduction to that experience that you can expect can be done as a platform, because on the online, speaking about augmented reality, magic mirrors, speaking about all these things are great for if you're buying a bag, if you're buying glasses, if you're buying t-shirts or shirts. But when it comes to buying an entire dress for your sister's wedding or for your own wedding, or buying a sari which is expensive, which is beyond a particular price point, you want to see it. And this is something that is imbibed in our system, and nobody wants to spend that kind of money without actually seeing it. Tactile sensibility is one of the most important aspects of luxury buying beyond a particular point.
So my last question to you is, what are the innovations that can we expect in the future in the luxury space?
So I think we have to go back to the future. In the system of the kind of innovations we can see in the luxury space, which is predominantly on the experience for the consumer. Innovations on designs will keep happening. We will, as a lot of design intervention is coming into fashion, because fashion has become a very, very serious business. And the generation today knows what they want. So if you're going to work and you want a classic white shirt, you need to know which is the brand that can provide you that classic white shirt, where you will get great quality, great fabric, and everything that you're looking for. So we've got designers who are kind of targeting to that sensibility and that niche in every area of our lives. We need something which makes a statement for us. We all want to feel good. We want to feel comfortable. So coming back to the experiences which you can create as a luxury brand in store is, apart from being and creating the warmth through the ambience, through the kind of communication you put through, speaking to them on their birthdays, just not ending your communication with one transaction. Going beyond that and creating a relationship with the customer is very important. Then if you're having a simple thing like a Karwa Chauth, you can have a small event at the store, get a Mehndi wali, do some kind of an art activity with your clients. This stays in the recall of their mind. So when they want to come back for an outfit, they will come back to you as loyalty. This creates a loyalty for your consumer. And this is how I worked back in 90s, 80s, 90s, and by word of mouth, I had a lot of customers who came to me because of these small little steps, which we lost in between. And we are coming back to the same thing, and that's why I said back to the future.
So where we started, we are ending at the same point. I mean, weaving the cultural things into the brand and at the store. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you over here.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here.